My fiance told me to take care of all the chores and childcare, but he doesn't earn enough for me to be a stay-at-home mom. Now he's calling me a gold digger for telling him he needs to do chores if I need to work. A little background: I, 26F, come from a relatively traditional Asian family, so sorry in advance for any mistakes in English. My father owns a rice wine brewery, and my mother helps him with it. Even though I've said my family is pretty conservative, from what I've seen growing up, my father never told my mother to do all the chores, he helps her with them. My father always says that he couldn't provide for the family alone, so she has to work too. That's why he never expects her to do everything in the house. Just like how they share the responsibilities to earn for our family, they also share responsibilities in taking care of the household. Now, enter my fiancé, 29M. We met on social media. He's an American who's currently working in my country. We've been dating for 3 years and have been engaged for 5 months. He always tells me he's looking for a traditional woman and wants to date with marriage in mind. He said that women who are capable of taking care of household and child-rearing are admirable, and I always agree with him without much thought because that's indeed an incredible feat, right? He's working in a small university, and I'm currently working in a hospital. We've saved enough to buy a house with a little bit of help from my parents, but we haven't moved in together yet because, Asian parents. But anyway, on my father's birthday last week, my fiancé and I talked about marriage once again. He doesn't think his income alone would be enough after our marriage, and it's giving him insecurities. So I suggested that I keep working after marriage, and that's not a problem because we'd be partners. My father also offered that we take over his brewery, and while I found the idea lovely, my fiancé, on the other hand, seemed hesitant about it, but he wholeheartedly agreed that I should keep my job. That was where the first problem started. I told him that since I have to work, then I expect him to help with the household chores later. As soon as I said that, he suddenly got irritated. He said that he had been telling me he's looking for a traditional woman and that now he had been catfished since I don't want to take care of every household chore because I'd still be working a job. Whenever he said he's looking for a traditional spouse, I always thought that he'd also be a traditional spouse, as in, being the sole provider so I can focus on taking care of the house and child if we ever have any. But when I told him that, he said I'm a gold digger and materialistic like any other woman, even when I never once asked him to be the sole provider. He brought that up first. Mind you, I never let him pay by himself whenever we went out on a date. Whenever he paid for dinner, I would have paid for coffee and the movies, stuff like that. Even my father willingly offered his brewery if we wanted to take care of it as a means to provide for ourselves. So where's the gold I should have been digging here? That was when I actually put the ring down and told him that I want to break up. I told him he's not traditional enough if he wants a fully traditional wife. I didn't want to deal with someone who could easily call me a gold digger in front of my parents just because I want to share the chores. I can't help but think if he could easily say what he said in front of my parents when we haven't married yet, then he could be saying something worse if we're married and alone. I went home alone, and he texted me saying he was sorry and he didn't mean what he said. He asked to meet, but I don't feel like it. However, when I told my friends, most of them told me I was a bit too emotional, hasty, and impulsive. They said I might look like the person who is wrong because I don't even want to meet him. His mother is now trying to talk me out of it, saying I'm too old to act like this, and it's the cultural barrier that led us to this point. So, here I am, trying to look for a new perspective. Update 1. Hello, I'm back once again after my post from almost 2 weeks ago. First of all, I want to thank everyone who kindly replied and messaged me in the past week. I truly am grateful for all the encouragement I received from everyone. It really warms my heart amidst all this mess. I want to admit that I, too, ignored quite a number of red flags he displayed in the past years, brushing them off as differences in our culture and upbringing. I thought I was being open-minded and accommodating, not knowing that I should have opened a deeper conversation regarding what I want if I were to deepen our relationship. Many people kindly praised me in my previous post, but I feel rather undeserving to receive them because I also did many stupid things that got me here. Okay, now, to the real update. Last night, I had dinner with him alongside my father, after much thought and input I received from Redditors, friends, and family. Long story short, he still didn't want to end our relationship. He apologized, saying he misspoke and wanted to fix his mistake. He said it was because he was too comfortable with me, since I'm not a confrontational person, and I did help quite a lot with his chores, like bringing side dishes, helping clean up his place every now and then, etc., so he thought I'd always be accommodating to what he wants. I also apologized that I've never really brought this kind of topic up seriously and didn't make sure we were on the same page whenever we did discuss this type of topic. He agreed that I should have told him before because that way it would never have gotten to this point, and then he kept bringing up my bad communication. I know it's my fault too, but it didn't feel good at all hearing that from him. Even though he admitted his faults and never spoke badly to me before except for that one time, I still can't shake off my distrust of him. I don't know why, but what happened last week is like an instant feeling of repulsion. So, I returned the ring he gave me and told him I'll return more than half of the amount we used to buy our house. He initially refused the money, saying he wants to keep trying to win back my trust and for me to keep in contact with him. But this morning, he said I can transfer his money because marriage is not really happening now, and he tried to prevent me from selling the house or telling our mutual friends that marriage is off the table. So, I just updated almost all of my group chats that I'm now single, and I'm here to tell everyone I'm single because my now ex-fiance displayed a red flag so big, China would be crying with envy. I feel like the jerk, to be honest, because it seems like my feelings for him were that shallow all along. But maybe reality hasn't hit me yet, but that's that.